So you're in between, which is always a difficult place, but it's all for the better. That's what my professor texted me the other day when I told him that I'm still waiting to hear back about this job. The deadline just keeps getting pushed. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm on the edge of a cliff. I'm at a precipice. And I've been at the precipice for a really, it feels like a really long time. Change is not only coming, but it's done. And in terms of my career and my job, I cannot look at it the same way anymore. I know I am leaving. I know I have left. In my mind, I am gone. This space, this in-between space, is making me also feel emotions that are in between. I am between both uncomfortable and excited, like extremely, the extreme of both of them. And the career, it's like, it feels more than that. It's not just a career. This is a big portion of my life. It's a big portion of all of our lives. It's like, what do you want to do? That's what people ask, like, oh, what does this person do? What do they devote their time to? This is relating to my lifestyle, my livelihood, what I put my time and intention to. Attention. I meant to say attention, but it came out intention, which is interesting. My fulfillment. This is where my fulfillment would come to from some degree, just, and this is like aside from, your relationships and your home and all the other components to a life. But the job is it's so huge. And a big part of what has changed for me and shifted in my mind is that I refuse at this point. I refuse to accept a job where I am unfulfilled creatively. I'm also very sleepy. And I refuse to accept what most people are doing day to day, which is working on autopilot. And I mean, I was there. I was in school. I was like, I feel like when I was in school and education, that was all autopilot to some degree. I still very much would let my compass guide me to my desires of like, this is fulfilling. I enjoy doing this. But then it's like, I have to work a job to make money to do this. And that was and I think portions of that and being unaware and being asleep in your day to day is okay, because you can't constantly be aware. That's exhausting. That's being awake a lot of the time. However, most of the time the awake, that is fun, right? That's what we want. And I keep hearing this message saying to me, like, as when I sit here in this uncomfortableness of the between, of this between space, I hear a message saying, enjoy the rest of this time right now, because it is all about to change. Change for the better, yes, but it is going to change. And this is a transition period. So take advantage of the peace right now and the time. And I know it feels uncomfortable, but it's already done. So sit with that. And this uncomfortableness is just a sign that the thing doesn't align anymore. There's something out there better that does. And it's time for the next thing. And it's funny because it's got me thinking back to my past jobs and how I was so excited to start them, and how I got them felt somewhat like just perfect timing, perfect connections, that how it worked. And it was this thing that I wanted. Like the job I'm currently working, when I first saw it, I wanted it so bad. I was like, oh my God, that job is perfect for me. I'm really interested in that. And it wasn't easy. Like I had to go through some hoops to get this job. And it's funny, it's making me think like, that's kind of bittersweet, right? That I used to be so excited about this job. And now I'm in this state of just dread. Like I can't do it anymore. And the extreme is weird but good. And it's funny because I thought, like, when the end comes, like, when I thought about the ends of the jobs and the transitions, I thought when I was misaligned that it was just burnt out. It was burnout. And I am burned out. I'm working a lot. I was working a lot before and dealing with some tough things in the job. But I'm also thinking that it's just the simple sign of, like, you're done with this. This doesn't align, so it feels that bad, it feels that extreme, and it feels like everything's crumbling around you, but it's just because it's making room and it's making sense of the change. It needs to be uncomfortable so you can move forward. Because otherwise, yeah, I would sit here and stay in this. I stayed in other jobs for a very long time because it wasn't uncomfortable enough to me. I was like, yeah, this is hard, but I still get joy from it, so I'm going to keep it. And really, I didn't need to. And I could have put my time into something else more for me, but I just kept holding on, holding on to it. And I'm doing that with this, though I'm doing it more in the sense of stability and money and health insurance and that kind of thing. And also learning. Like, I know I'm still valuing the learning from it. But also, the thing that I think is important to recognize is that as I'm remembering the beginning and how I used to like it, and still recognizing that the change is here, it's okay to move on and let this go. But to honor who I was when I was excited about the job, to honor who I was when I did make the decisions I made. Like, her story is valid and her emotions were valid, and she got me here. I would not be in this uncomfortable state after going through a great experience of this job and others to be at the next precipice that is like the steepest one yet, yes, but the best one yet because of how steep it is. It wouldn't, if it weren't for her, if it weren't for my past self, I would not be here. So I'm thinking about her, and I'm thinking about her excitement, and I'm thinking about how she felt, and I feel like I'm about to enter that state again as I await the arrival of new news and new things happening. And that's great. Like, it's just a cycle. And it is scary. Like, I'm like, well, what if I do this job and then I get into that burnout section again and that change happens? But, like, I think that's inevitable. Maybe it doesn't need to be so extreme and, like, low, I guess. But there needs to be, I think, something to be like, you can't keep doing this. Because I am the type of person where I'm like, this is really great, but I can't, not unless the next thing that comes is that amazing. Right? Will I let this thing go? It's hard for me to let that stuff go when it's so good. Sometimes there's like gonna be that crappy moment, and you're like, I used to love this. What happened? You're growing. That's what happened. You're leveling up. And it's scary. And you don't know, like, are you gonna fall or are you gonna fly? I'm not sure. Actually, I am sure. I'm totally sure. It's gonna maybe feel like falling, but I'm flying. You're gonna fly. And I know this change, like, it's, I know this is happening. It needs to happen because, like, it's inevitable it's happening. Because if it doesn't, the longer I am in this state, the essence of my soul is dissipating because I'm not able to express myself creatively, like I mentioned. That will just continue. And who the hell wants that? But that's how I feel. And it sounds so extreme, but it is. I'm still alive. That, don't get me wrong, but I'm asleep. Okay, yeah, I'm asleep. And I've been asleep for too long. I'm restless. I'm having sleep paralysis, actually. I'm having sleep paralysis. And in real life, I've been having more sleep paralysis. I had it more when I was a kid, but lately, I've not been sleeping well, and I keep waking up in the middle of the night like something's off, and I can't rest, and then I get sleep paralysis as I try to fall back asleep, and my body won't really let me. I'm having sleep paralysis emotionally and spiritually and soulfully, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm aware that I'm asleep, but I need to get up because this state of awareness is uncomfortable as you're in that between. I'm in the space between asleep and awake. And I need to get up. And I could just fall asleep. You could just lay there, calm down, and fall asleep. Just fall back into it. It's okay. That's your comfortable state. I don't want that right now. I don't want that false sense of security. You won't let go of the job because it gives you security, but yet you're unfulfilled. That is the sleep that I could fall back into. But no, I need to get up. I need to walk around. I need to go live. I'm gonna go live.